So what is the use of these bottles? What do they do exactly?
As you can see here, our plant tower, it has the mesh out of decals. Okay, these were wastes, which we decided to make them to be useful to us. So the plastic bottles are to support the soil which is inside, not to come out through the big spaces of the wire mesh.
Right. So can someone plant beans here, like or other kind of plants apart from the greens? Can other plants like survive here?
Yeah, some can survive, but it depends the way you plant them. Now, like for example, beans, since also beans are somehow climbing plants, you have to put them on the base so that as they grow, they come up. Yes.
So how does this system exactly work? How do you water these plants like to survive something like that? How does it work? How do you put the soil here? How does it get intact? This whole system.
Okay. The way we water them, we have a hose pipe, which we mainly put it on top there. Inside there is a big pipe, whereby when we pour the water, okay, plus also inside the pipe there are stones, whereby when we pour the water inside, we can be able to irrigate it from the inside. While the outside we use the same pipe but under low pressure to water around the plants so that the soil doesn't, okay, we don't do the soil erosion. Yes.
Okay, well, thank you, Francis. I wish you the best with this whole project, and I hope you're going to put this into practice by the time you leave school, right? Okay. Well, you are still watching the Education Forum here on UBC TV, and we have more students that are going to explain to you more about the plant tower and so much more here. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned. We are back to learn more about this tower here, which is of course the plant tower, or you could actually call it the tower garden. And here with me is another student who's going to explain more about the plant tower and give us more details. Please tell us what your name is.
My name is Imla
Imla who?
Wafula.
Wafula, what class are you in?
I'm in Form 2.
You're in Form 2. Okay, it looks like Form 2s are smart here, huh? Okay, so explain to us more about this tower. Like, we need details.
Okay, this tower here, the processes that were involved as we were trying to come up with this tower. The first thing, we had to collect these bottles. As you see, we have our collecting areas at the back. We had to collect these bottles of different sizes, and we first collected them from there. Then the second step, we got wires, like you can see. We used to join them together to come up with this shape like you're seeing. Then this one also was a waste material that we used as a stand. Like you see, the mesh was the bed. Then we used these bottles to tie them. We tied them around this tower, and we had to come up with this tower plant here.
Okay, does this tower plant need like fertilizers for these plants to grow well?
Yeah, automatically it needs fertilizers. This soil here, before it was put here, we have a decomposition pit the other side where we form our compost manure. So we collected that manure, that soil from the other side which was fertile, and we had to place it inside here, and it's the one that we are using to grow our crops. Yeah, it needs fertilizers.
So how have you benefited from this project? Do you do it at home now, or it just ends here at school?
No, automatically we practice it at home because this type of farming here, this type of method or technique is basically used in urban areas because those people have limited space of which you can't grow on this just flat piece like we do in some places. So this plant tower here, it favors them because it uses limited space and you can grow a variety of plants and crops that you need.
All right, like I said earlier on, education is not only about reading, writing, and of course passing examination, but we also need life skills like this one, because by the time we are going out of school, we are going to need jobs for ourselves. We are going to need to create jobs for other people because right now the unemployment rate is very high. So with such life skills, students could be something. Well, you're still watching the Education Forum. Stay tuned. the smart students of St. Kizito High School, Namugongo, are still teaching us more about the plant tower. And when we're speaking about smartness, this is the whole definition of smartness. As you can see here, smartness starts from the body, goes to the mind, and of course, all this is smartness right here. So here with me is a very beautiful student who is going to explain more about the plant tower. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, at first you told me you're frightened. I see now you're okay. All right, so explain to us more details about the plant tower. What do you know about the plant tower?
Okay, to explain this, I want to tell you guys about the importance. Okay, what's the importance mainly? This, all of it. I'm going to first the bottles. These bottles that you see, as we made this, there was space in these. So to prevent this soil from pouring outside, how to put these bottles so that the soil can remain inside. So the upper, that bucket up, it's used for like, it's like our watering can. Put our water, use this pipe, then we put it up, water goes in, and in between there is a pipe. The pipe contains stones inside. That pipe runs from up to down. So it helps in transporting the water. Then the stones helping like if water goes down, it's equally distributed to all the parts of the thing. So the lower stand is like have the legs. They help us stand up. So it's helping us for this thing to be straight. Yeah.
Where are the stones you're talking about exactly?
Okay, inside, in the middle of this, is a pipe. That pipe contains stones in it that help us in distributing the water to the different parts.
So how does this whole system help conserve the environment?
Okay, as you see these bottles, they're useless, isn't there? They're really bad for environment. So if we use them for this, it's more helping than burning it to help disturb climate. So it helps that this deca can also be helping us, it's really bad. The metals, they're not useful if they're old, so we use for this, and it's good.
Okay. Basing on the time frame you've been doing this, has this helped you make any money, or are you teaching this to some other people when you go back home?
It's helping me, because down there is a cucumber. Okay, it helps me grow a lot of stuff in a short period of time. It helps me in different ways. Okay, if you go cabbage, greens, such stuff, you can sell the short period of time and you get money.
Do you have your own project at home?
Yeah,
What do you have at home exactly? What plants do you grow?
I grow cabbage and then greens.
Okay, so you're a real farmer, right? So that's it with the first activity, which is of course the plant tower. And we have learned more about the plant tower, what it does and its importance. And if you have benefited a bit from this, then you'd learn how to do this yourself at home, so you could make some income for yourself. So we are going for the next activity. Stay tuned. This is the Education Forum. Now, growing mushrooms is a very, very lucrative business, and it requires some level of expertise. And now here at St. Kizito High School, Namugongo, these students have got to show you the knowledge, the skills that you need to start up your own mushroom farming. Now, here is a modernized mushroom house, and of course, we have the off-ground pyramid garden. And here with me is a student who's going to explain more about this garden.
My name is Okware Samuel. I'm a senior 1 student here at St. Kizito High School, Namugongo. So as you can see here, these are our off-ground pyramid gardens. Well, they are made of bottles. So when you look at our school, the main thing we try to do is to reduce the wastes in the environment, their impact. These are the effects they cause to people, to animals, everywhere on our planet. So what we do, in our school, we have used bottles, as you have already seen in our plant tower. So in our plant tower, we have used bottles to engulf the soil inside. So as you come here to our off-ground pyramid gardens, we have been able to use different bottles. We have jig bottles, we have VIP water. All these bottles could have ended up in the soil, could have been burnt, could have been disposed of in water, trenches. But here at St. Kizito, we have used them to build the structure. The structure of our off-ground pyramid gardens is bottles. The bottles hold the soil inside. So as they may not be removed by the elements, such as water, such as wind. So when we water, only the water seeps to the bottom, but the soil remains in place. So our bottles, we simply do the same procedure as for the plant tower. We collect our bottles, we sort them. Here we try to be a bit decorative, bring the art into the aspect. So what we did, we got our bottles, we collected different types. We have VIP, we have Renzori, we have Yakut, and we have Jik. We collected them, then we used the binding wire, which is this material right here. Binding wire is what we use to join the bottles together. Of course, naturally, the bottles would not stand on their own. They would simply fall off and we wouldn't have our gardens. But thanks to the binding wire, it is able to keep them together. We're able to grow crops. It has 3 layers. The first layer is the largest. Then as it continues, it keeps on decreasing till we reach the smallest layer. As you can see, the first layer, we're able to grow spinach. Spinach is a very good crop that many people like. It's a very good vegetable. It provides a lot of nutrients to the body. At the second garden, the medium one, we are able to grow onions. Then at the top, we're able to grow green pepper. All this is to show the world that no matter how many plastic bottles are out there, first of all, we should stop the production of plastic bottles. We should be able to use other alternatives, such as glass bottles. That's number one. We should be able to reduce the effect of these pollutants to the environment. These pollutants are doing so much, they're destroying our soil fertility. Yet we are in Africa, we are in Uganda, our backbone is agriculture. We cannot simply let all this go to waste. All we should do is we should protect our soil, we should protect our climate to ensure the good of our country, the good of our economy, for all our benefit. So here we're able to reduce the impact of the waste to the soil. We are able to show the world that no matter how much space you have, this mushroom house, the modernized one, does not take a lot of structure, as you can see. All it takes is a small space. And also, as you grow your mushrooms inside, at the top, you can have your off-ground pyramid gardens. So, as you have your off-ground pyramid gardens, you can grow your various vegetables. You can grow sukuma, you can grow cabbage, you can grow spinach, you can grow onions. Name it and you'll grow it, as long as it's a vegetable.
Okay, so after these plants have grown, do you transfer them to the gardens or they grow here?
Well, the fact is, these plants have already been transplanted here. They came from our nursery bed across there, across the fish pond. So after they had grown up to the transplanting stage, all we simply did is that we transplanted them from the nursery bed and brought them here. So after that, here is where they're going to grow from, is where they're going to be harvested from. And after harvesting, we sell to the school and we also sell to the various neighbors of the school.
So give us more details about the mushroom house, this modernized mushroom house. How does it do? How does it work?
Well, when you come to this mushroom house, it is actually a bit of science in agriculture. Of course, agriculture is the art and science of growing crops and animals which have value to man. So here we have brought out both the art and the science. That's what we have done. So here we have been able to use plastic bottles, a very big hazard in our environment. Of course, out of all the plastic bottles produced in the world, only 1% is recycled. So for us, we are able to increase that percentage from 1% to at least 20%, whereby we have used it to build our mushroom house. Instead of using bricks and cement, which is quite expensive, we have been able to use it, bottles and clay. And still our structure stands. It stands and we're able to grow our mushrooms very well. As you can see, it looks like a window, but it's not a window. It's an air hole. The main purpose of it is to aerate. Mushrooms are organisms that do not need a lot of heat, a lot of light. So that air hole is to allow enough air to enter, is to allow enough light to enter. That's all the work, that's all the air hole is about. Then here at the top we have this plastic tart, so that as we water from our off-ground pyramid gardens, the water may not seep into the garden, seep below to destroy our gardens. So that's all about the structure, and we also have cement. Here we used about 3 bags of cement and just a few stones to build the pillars to support all this, because we knew in St. Kizito we are going to use each available space. Even in this open space you see, we are going to put more tires. As you can see, we have tire gardens there, tire gardens there. The work of these tire gardens is to supplement on the off-ground pyramid gardens. In Kampala during riots, main tires are burnt. But here at St. Kizito, those tires, we don't just dump them anywhere. We collect them. As you can see, we are going to harvest very good from those tires, from these bottles, from everything that we have collected in St. Kizito. It's a school about recycling and helping the environment. And all our main idea is to hope that the whole world can join us in this campaign, in this program, to change the mind towards plastic bottles. That's all.
Okay, like I've always said, learning just never ends, education just never ends. And like I said before, education needs creativity, it needs intelligence, and of course, you have to be very smart. Now, we can see how the students of St. Kizito High Namugongo are recycling some of these tires and the bottles that we are throwing all over the place. Well, if you want to learn more about this, well, maybe you could come to St. Kizito and maybe bring those bottles and tires to St. Kizito here and let them teach you how they do this. These children are smart and they have the knowledge and skills. Stay tuned. This is the Education Forum and we are going for more activities. So we are still learning more about the mushroom house, which is of course the modernized mushroom house. And as you can see here, these are some of the mushrooms that have been gotten out of this mushroom house. So we are going to get into the mushroom house and get to learn more about mushrooms, how they are grown in the mushroom house. Stay tuned. This is the Education Forum.
Well, welcome to our mushroom house. As you can see, it's looking very lovely. These are our mushroom gardens. Don't be mistaken. This is a structure, but these are gardens. This is a garden, this is a garden, that is a garden. So, to make mushrooms, the procedure is not all that long. All you need to do is to collect the ingredients. And the ingredients are that we collect the same waste thrown out by people. In this case, we have used the discarded cotton husks, of which we have soaked them for 24 hours. Then after we drained the water, we added in rice bran and lime. After that, we packed them in our caveras. After packing them in caveras, we cooked them. Cooking, don't assume that we boiled them. We actually just steamed them to kill the germs inside. Mushrooms are very clean organisms. So all we did was that we steamed them to kill the germs. After that, we cooled them. We cooled them in our mushroom house, which we referred to at that time as a dark room. It was referred to as a dark room because no one was allowed in here. After that, we spound them. After spawning, we used a ring such as this, and newspapers, the used up newspapers. We made the top. The specifically is that the ring would give a bit of room to allow aerations, because the mushrooms are living organisms. We allowed them to colonize all of the garden. That's briefly how we make our mushroom gardens. Eventually, we leave them to rest for about 14 days. That's 2 weeks. After that, we come, we hang them, cut slits in them, water them. Within 3 to 4 days, we have lovely white mushrooms. It is unfortunate that you came at a time whereby the mushroom gardens are resting. Mushrooms are not like any other crop. Well, mushrooms, all you need to do is plant the main thing, the gardens. And we can harvest, if the procedures are followed properly, we can harvest for 2.5 months our mushrooms without that the issue of disturbing ourselves. We take out this garden, we bring another one. No, from the same garden. This garden has been here for 2.5 months. That's why you see it is there. It is still producing. All we need to do is water. The way we take care of our mushroom house is that we clean it every day. Make sure in St. Kizito, we are here to pledge a decree that we shall only provide high quality standard goods, in which whereby, as you have seen in our dried mushrooms, we have been able to pack them and we are going to brand them at Quality Mushrooms, St. Kizito High School. Please buy them. So this is how our gardens are. This is how they grow. Mushrooms are extremely easy to grow, and they're actually very good. 1 kilo of mushrooms, moist mushrooms, or as we call them fresh, goes at 5,000 shillings, while the dried ones goes at 100,000 Ugandan shillings for the retail price. That's all about the mushrooms.
So we have learned more about the plant tower and of course the off-ground pyramid house and the mushroom modern house. Now that brings us to the next activity of the day. And remember, we are talking life skills. And speaking of life skills, we have seen gardening and now we are going to soap making. Now the students at St. Kizito High School Namugongo are going to teach us more about soap and soap making. Now you can see that the prices of commodities are very high, including soap. And soap is very important in our homes. It helps us wash plates, wash clothes, and of course shower, and so many others. Stay tuned. This is the Education Forum on UBC TV. We are here at the workshop, a place well known as the Project House here at St. Kizito High School, and we are going to see the magic. This is where the magic happens, and we have a student who is going to explain to us more about soap making.
I'm called Imperial Isaac from 5.
Yes, Isaac, explain to us more about this project.
So this is soap making, and as you see, these are the ingredients of making our bar soap. So we start with this is called Caustic Soda, and it's an acid that is used as a catalyst during the process. We have the white powder that is used to make the color in the soap. We have the kernel, and this palm kernel is used to put the leather in the soap. As you see there, we have our molder that is used to give the shape of the soap into a rectangular form. So during the process, we started with the caustic soda, which we mix 24 hours before the process of making soap. So after we mix our caustic soda, we apply there the white powder, then kernel, then the fume that is used to give the scent in the soap. So after 48 hours, after we have poured the soap in the molder, the soap is ready for use, as you can see here, as we have it here. These are one of the products, the already finished products that we have of the soap. Yep.
So are you using this skill that you have learned here at school to do something for yourself at home?
Yeah, sure, we do. We students of St. Chisto High School, after here, as you see the skills, we go back. Many of us during holidays work with companies that make soap. So these skills don't end at school only, and entrepreneurial skills, because we sell these products to the school, parents, and so on. So these skills help us indeed.
Okay, well, thank you, Isaac. Well, you're still watching the Education Forum, and we have more students who are going to explain to us more about soap making. And of course, there's so many things here in the workshop or the project house that we are going to learn more about. Now, speaking of life skills, apart from soap making, there is a lot that is going on in the project house, and that includes shower gels, we have shampoo, we have oils, we have liquid soap, and so much more. And the students are still going to engage us and tell us more about what they do here and how they make some of these products. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's your name?
My name is Aturi Sheila.
Yes, Sheila. Tell us more about the shower gel and whatever is going on here.
So shampoo is the form of soap that we use to wash ladies' hair, mainly ladies' hair. And so some of the things that we use ungalo, we use KDS, CMC, often blender, and industrial salt. First, KDS is to soften the skin once washing it, and then CMC is to thicken the shampoo. So when the procedures, you need a basin and a mingling stick. So first put in the shampoo with the industrial salt, pour in water, something like a 10-liter jerry can. After that, mix the KDS and CMC aside with the after blender aside, and then pour in the mixture. After pouring in, put in some perfume and color, any color of your choice. After that, mix, pour in the tins, then with time they'll just come out as this. So then you can sell if you want, or use as yourself personal. Yeah.
Okay, the students here are very smart. Like I said before, learning just never ends, it just never stops. And these children here, or these students right here, are the real definition of life skills. They have got the knowledge, they've got the skills. So we are going to the oil section to see more about the oil. And of course, we also have the liquid soap. And many other students are going to explain to us more about this. So we have the oil here, and if you love your skin so good, we have some oil here for you. So someone is going to explain that to us. How are you?
I'm fine, madam.
What's your name?
I'm Wamono Shadrach.
Okay, Shadrach, tell us more about this oil and how you make it.
This oil, it's mainly, as you know, oil is mainly used for, you can smear when you're done showering, or when you've been like to a beach, you smear it all over your skin so that it makes your skin elastic. So we make oiling from different materials. We have this is the petroleum jelly, then we have the paraffin wax, we have the olive oil, then the industrial color and perfume. So the procedure is we are going to get the oil, you melt it, the petroleum jelly, you melt it in a saucepan, then you'll add the paraffin wax into the saucepan so that it melts. Then you also add the olive oil, then after that you're going to add some perfume, then you'll add just like a pinch of industrial color. Then from that you'll have several forms, as you can see this. There's this here. yeah, this is like the final product, the oil, the Vaseline that you've made.
Okay, you people, these are real things. These are real things. Personally, I'm going to buy this oil for myself at the end of the day because it smells good. Now, from the oil, we are going to the shower gel. Those that love using shower gel, well, the students here make shower gel for you guys. So if you also want shower gel, it is here at St. Kizito High School, Namugongo, and these children are teaching you what life skills are all about. Now, apart from soap making, shower gel, and of course shampoo and many other things that take place here in the project house, we also have candle making, and somebody is going to explain to us more about the candle making process. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
What is your name?
I'm Ganzaiva Olivia.
Yes, Olivia, take us through the process of making the candles.
So while making candles, we use this paraffin wax. We melt the paraffin wax with a stove and a kettle. After we add in the sterling crystals, we leave them to solidify for 5 to 10 minutes. Then after, you put in this molder with a thread so that it hardens. Then after, you package them to go to market. That's all.
Okay, so that's what goes on in the project house here at St. Kizito High School, Namugongo. We have seen how they make soap and all the requirements we need for making soap. We also have the shower gel, we have the shampoo, we have the smearing oil, and of course, we have the liquid soap. So you could be home there and you have nothing to do for yourself. You could borrow a skill from these, a skill or two, and do something for yourself. Remember, the unemployment rate in Uganda is very high and you could start up your own business. Stay tuned. This is UBC TV and more activities coming your way. Okay, so now from the project house where we learned how to make soap, shower gels, liquid soap, and so many others, we are going into the art showroom, and I'm very curious to see what happens in the art showroom. And the students right here are going to be our tour guides. Stay tuned. This is UBC TV. So you probably must have heard about showrooms, and you may be asking yourself, what is a showroom? Now for this case, a showroom is a place where we go and see different art designs and of course creativity. And speaking about creativity and different art designs, it could be bags, it could be necklaces, it could be table mats, it could be clothes, it could be shoes like you see here, and so much more. And here with me are some students here at the showroom who are going to explain to us more about their artwork and what they have done so far. So hello, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm okay. So explain to us more about this. What is going on here?
So my name is Martina Asvazuya Patience. I'm from 3 West. This is St. Chisto High School, Namugongo. This is our showroom. So what's this project is all about? We have various projects in this showroom right here. We have the bag making, the crafts making, the making of shoes. We have the art designs, the sculptures. We have many various things inside here. So what I'm probably making here is sanitary towels. Majorly I have sanitary towels, and maybe this thing is needed to everyone in the world. Majorly, especially the girls. So we have the hook and loop, we have the absorbents, we have the already made towels. We have the baby clothes, and also many things, materials that we use to make the pads.
What materials do you use to make these pads, the sanitary pads?
The sanitary towels, first of all, the first step is we get the manila paper. From the manila paper, we have this, how we make, first get the manila paper, we get the already manufactured towel, then we place it on the manila, then we frame it to get our frame. Then we also frame the baby towels. These ones we frame them. From framing them, we get this. We get the absorbents. The absorbent goes roll. Then this absorbent, that's like a polythene that prevents fluids from passing through. Then from there, using to fasten it, we use the buttons. If they're not the buttons, we use the hook and loop to fasten them.
Now we are going to the next step, which is of course the shoe making. And somebody here is going to give us more details on how these shoes are actually made. And in most cases, we call this kind of shoes crafts. So she's going to explain to us more about this, the whole process, the materials that you need, and so much more. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's your name?
My name is Letters Hope Marilyn.
Yes, Meriden. So explain to us more about the shoes. How are they made, the materials that are being used?
Actually, to make these, you first need these, the threads that you're going to use. Then you need the crocheting needle, glue, and the things you're going to use for cutting. Then in order to make this, you get this, the same method that you use for crocheting or knitting is the same method you can use here, and then you make the kind of design you want. We have these ones. There's this that looks like a chain. So after the process of knitting, then you're going to cut the upper part of the sole. After cutting that, then you start knitting around here to shape it. After then you start putting in the designs that you had made, like this. After making this, then you're going to get this glue and apply it here. And cut the downer part of the sole, which is like this. And then you have to put the glue on both sides, then leave the glue to dry for some time. After drying it up, you place this part onto the sole and then shape it. After cutting it, you come up with this.
So what is the sole made out of? What is this called?
This is the carpet this is the carpet for the upper part of the sole.
Okay, so like I said before, life skills just never stop and we keep learning each and every day. So you could probably be at home there sitting and asking yourself, how can I get to make my own crafts? How can I get to make my own money? Well, the students right here are showing you the definition of life skills and how you could probably make your own products. And these are the crafts right here. They look very beautiful. And I'm getting myself one after this.
I'm Martina again. I make two projects at Egomejali. I make the crafts of making the table mats, the bags, the beads, the bags made from beads, the doormats, and the decorated whatever is from the beads. These ones like this. These ones are used for decoration. You know, fixing a thread here. You know, it's not yet done, but then we put them up like this. We have various. This one is a table mat. You know, various people need designs and fashions at home, so we need various things. We make the necklaces ourselves. We have the bags made of beads. These bags take a lot of time, but then, you know, being like, let me say, managing class duties and these duties, so we try to fix time on Saturdays and Sundays to make these crafts and sanitary towels. But then all these things are, you know, needful, and they give you skills and morale to make this. You know, you can get self-employed making all this stuff. Like here we sell and get our own money.
So this is a section where we get to see the clay, we see our heads made here, our thumbs and so much more. I can see my head here. And someone here is going to explain to us more about her artwork here. Hello, how are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm okay. So explain to me more about your artwork, what kind of materials you use, what you need, and how you got to this level.
Yeah, as you see, you are seeing here different kind of works made out of clay. You're having the sculptures and together with the ceramics. The ceramics are mixed plastics and clay. So how I came up with this artwork, first I have to collect the tools and materials, whereby in the materials have clay, water, and the tools we use, knives, spoons, forks for making these different designs. As here, I think I should more concentrate on the vessels because I'm well experienced even these ones. Okay, here we come up with flower vessels, and how we came up with this. First collected the clay from the sources. We have different sources of clay. We went to the swamp because that is the most source where you get clay from. Yeah, so we went to the swamp, collected clay. After us collecting clay, we went out. We came with it in our art room. After there, we sorted out, we followed different steps. There are many steps, but I got summarized some of them. So after we collecting clay, we got to sort out the clay. after sorting it out, we had to sieve it, then mix it in water to get the soap. After mixing it, then we knead it, like to harden, kind of harden. Then we start coming up with different forms. But before us making, we first have to come up with the sketches, like of the heads, vessels, and so on.
Okay, so how do you make these exactly?
These ones are plastics. As you see, they are made out of plastic bottles. More special, as we follow our 3 R's, we have our 3 R's, which say reduce, reuse, and recycle. So these ones were recycled. Went to our dustbin, picked these plastic bottles. After we picking the plastic bottles, we came up with different designs. We used the scissor and some glue. So we used the scissor, we cut in small pieces. We used also some threads, also spray. So these are flower vessels.
All right, so I don't know if you have noticed, but it looks like the plastics are one of the materials that are being used here at St. Kizito High School, Namugongo, to, of course, make something out of life. We have seen it in the plant tower. We have seen it at the off-ground pyramid garden. We have seen it in the modernized mushroom house. And, of course, we are seeing it here as a flower vessel as well. So we can see the different ways we get to recycle some of these plastics. And, of course, continuing, there is a lot that is going on here. There's a lot of artwork going on here. And at the end of the day, I could probably carry some of these with me because they look so good. And someone here is going to explain to us more about their artwork. I'm very sure these are bitenji, whatever you call them, right? The African wear. Explain to us more about your artwork.
My name is Talinacho Hilda Gladys, a student of St. Chiso High School. And mainly, I'm going to explain a topic called fabric decoration in art. This is under a subtopic in fabric decoration called applique. And coming up with this, you get offcuts. You can get offcuts from a tailor. Then a free short. You can get any cloth that you no longer want or you want it. Then use a sewing needle and sewing threads to sew offcuts onto a fabric to come up with this. You can also come up with this, the one I'm putting on.
Okay, so speaking about the materials you're using or clothes that you probably wouldn't like, I'm seeing this is a jean. So that means this jean was old, and for you to make it look beautiful again, you had to use some materials and sewed them onto the jean, and of course made something out of it.
Yeah.
Like this.
That's it.
Okay, so you may be having their clothes that you don't need anymore, or probably have been bitten by rats. And yeah, you could use these materials to put back your clothes in place and have it to yourself. So there is more going on here. What is this about?
This is called stencil printing. A subtopic also from art. And this is called a stencil that is used to apply these designs onto a fabric. Coming out with this, you get a paper, you sketch out anything you want. It can be a fruit or any material, a pot, anything. Then you use a cutter to cut out these. After, you use paint and a stencil to apply paint on a fabric. You get paint and a brush or a sponge. Then paint and start applying on our fabric to come out with this.
From the showroom, now we are going to learn the science of making briquettes. And just like any other curious cat, I am very curious to learn more about the briquettes making. And somebody here is going to take us through the whole process.
I'm Nawasa Corners. I'm a senior 4 student. So as we all know that we are going to study about briquette making is all about, we begin with our first stage here. This is our first stage of briquette making, which is rubbish collection or garbage collection from the environment. We collect different garbages or rubbish from the environment, which includes non-organic and organic and organic garbage. So organic garbage, we have the leaves of plants, we have the leaves of plants, the stems. Then non-organic, we have the bottles and many others. So we collect those different rubbish or garbage from the environment and we bring them here. Then when we reach here, we sort them. As we sort them, we collect the leaves alone, and we also collect the papers alone, and the bottles or the plastics and the metals alone. So the leaves of plants or the organic matter, we collect it and we carbonize it. So the next stage which we are going to is carbonizing the organic matter. Then the plastics, we use the plastics for different uses. Like we already saw, making or building up the mushroom houses. Then we also have the other agriculture, then and many others also in the art. Then the metals are sorted outside there or in another place. Then we use the metals, we set them as scraps. Then also we use the metals also for art. Then as we go to the next stage for carbonizing.
Okay, so before we go to the next stage of carbonizing, somebody watching may be asking what are briquettes exactly. So what are briquettes and what are they being used for?
So briquettes, we use them, they are used for cooking. So they are also replacements for charcoal. The only way which we can use to conserve the environment by using the organic matter is by making briquettes and use them for cooking. They are the best methods of cooking or used for cooking. They do not produce smoke, they do not produce more ash, so they are good.
Okay, so a lot of things that are being done here at St. Kizito High School are basically things that are for recycling. We have seen how they recycle the bottles, we have seen how they recycle waste products here, and they're making briquettes for cooking, which actually does not affect the environment in terms of smoke and so much more. And like he has said, briquettes are being used for cooking and so many others. So he's going to take us through the whole process, of course. Stay tuned. This is the Education Forum.
So as we already finished sorting the rubbish, so we bring the organic one and we carbonize it. So after carbonizing that, the carbonizer is there. So carbonizing, we have to burn this rubbish in absence of oxygen so that it does not turn into ash. So that's why you see when we are burning our rubbish, we normally close on top so that we do not allow in oxygen.
My name is Semakula Samson. I'm here to take you through the production process of briquettes. Now, after carbonizing our bio-waste, we bring them inside this room. It's our production unit. We bring our bio-waste. First of all, we sieve it and we obtain the fine particles. Then the larger particles are set aside, and afterwards they are also crushed and joined with these ones. From there, we add the binder and tell the power material to be compacted or to stick together during the process of producing the briquette. As you can see here, this is already our sieved material, and that one aside is being crushed and it's being brought to the production unit. And now from there, that's when we are going to add our binder, as you're going to see the process going on. And then we use our machines that we have. We have an extruder, then the crusher. Yes, if at all you don't manage to use the electric machine, we have our manual molders, whereby they are the ones to use and replacements for the electric machine. As you have already seen here, we've made some briquettes from our manual machine, and we've already taken them to the dryer for drying.
It is known that agriculture is the pillar of Uganda's economy, and 58% of the households depend on livestock for their livelihoods. And we have seen different life skills in this school, which of course include the plant tower, which is gardening. We have seen arts and crafts, briquetting, and so much more. Now here also we see the next life skill or activity in this school, which is of course poultry. And here with me is one of the students who is going to take us through the whole poultry process. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine.
What's your name?
I'm called Ngudwasa Collins.
Yes, Collins. Tell us more about the poultry.
The poultry, actually, we started it's a school project, and it's like students, it's for the students. So the reasons we bring them like in the beginning of the term when they are still chicks, then we take them into a brooder whereby we use a pot. We have a pot there, we put there the briquettes that you saw, then we provide seed. Then by the time they grow, then we keep on changing because they are around 200 birds. So at first, since they are still small, we used to keep them from here. Then when they increased in size, because the more they increase in size, the more they take space. So we separated them. Now here we have here 100 birds. Then also here we have here 100 birds. On the feeds, we feed them with posho. We get posho like this, the remaining posho, the way you see here. There's posho like the students leave, the remains. Then we dry them. Then we use that machine that you're seeing there, and we crush them. Then we add in more ingredients like concentrate. Then we feed them. Then we also use the litter, as you're seeing, the saw for timber, so that it can provide warmth for them and for their feet. Now, like for them, at this time their feet are weak, so they need something soft inside so that they don't get wounds. So that we can also avoid poultry vices, because now like if the floor is rough, they can get wounds, then they start pecking each other. So that's how the poultry vices can start growing. So, but if we put there a litter, the place remains soft and warm, so their feet remains safe. And also the litter helps like when they start laying eggs. The eggs will not be damaged. You'll find them when they are okay.
Isn't it just amazing? We just can't have enough of the activities and skills that take place in this particular school here. And many of us have seen houses being constructed, and we don't even know, we don't have an idea of how some of these building materials are actually made. Well, the students here are going to show us how some of the pavers that are used for building houses are made.
My name is Babidi Melissa from St. Chisto High School, and this is the landscaping club of St. Chisto High School, and I would like to take you through the procedures and processes of making pavers. First of all, when we're making our pavers, you get a place where we are going to make them from. This trench here, it's where we get our silt. We put it somewhere to dry in order to drain away the water. After leaving it for some time to dry, we get our sieve, and we sieve to separate the fine particles from the coarse particles. After sieving it, as you see here, after sieving it, we measure. In case you want to measure, we can use 3 wheelbarrows and put 50 kilograms of cement. Here we arrange our molder at a flat board. We put our silt and start stamping. We continuously add until the paver becomes compact together, as you see here.
This is the kind of life skill that we are talking about, the different life skills we are talking about, because at the end of the day, when these children get to leave school, or the students get to leave school, probably go for holidays or vacations, and maybe in the future when they're out of school, they get to make these things for themselves. Remember that they have these skills, and by the time they get to construct their own houses, they can make pavers of their own. And it's also amazing to see girls do this. It's amazing to see girls do this, because in most cases we think that building houses or construction of houses only belongs to the men. But in the generation we're in today, there is no man and there is no woman. We are all equal. And when I speak about equal, I don't mean equal in certain things, of course, but yes, when it comes to working, when it comes to duty, it doesn't matter your sex. We can all do anything. We have seen girls do poultry, we have seen them do art, and so much more. And of course, now we are seeing them do pavers as well. So after seeing the different activities and life skills that the students are involved in, now we are going to engage the headmaster, who is of course the head of the school, who is going to tell us more as to why the children are equipped with some of these skills. Welcome, sir.
My name is Kazibwe Ezekiel, the head teacher, St. Kizito High School, Namugongo. We started this program that we call Holistic and Practical Skills Education Program. This program is intended to equip practical skills and knowledge, the practical skills and knowledge of the 21st century that would enable our learners function well in society. We realized that yes, our education system is very good and it has produced excellent people in society, but we realized that there was a need to brand the knowledge we attain with skills that will enable these people become future job creators than job seekers. We realize that in the world at large, not only in Uganda, but the world at large, we are facing a problem of unemployment, especially youth unemployment. And to have a change, we need to change the generation of now, because these are it's the future generation. So if you want to impact on society, you have to begin with the future generation. And this is what encouraged us to come up with this program that aims at imparting skills and knowledge to these learners so that in the future we can produce future investors. Normally, whenever you talk about investors to a common man, they think of these Europeans. The first thing they will think of is someone from USA, Britain, China, Japan, and other countries. An investor is anyone who can invest capital to make a business. So we can also have our own investors in Uganda who can create jobs for Ugandans so that we can improve the incomes of the people and we can also be well off as a country.
Now, so basing on the activities and life skills that we have seen right here at St. Kizito High School, Namugongo, we get to realize that this is a real definition of what a school is supposed to be like. Because at the end of the day, when these students get out of school, there are no jobs out there for them. And these life skills give them an opportunity to start something for themselves. And the students right here have an opportunity to learn some of these things. That means once they get out of school, they're going to be job creators and not job seekers. And they're going to be able to make money for themselves, have their own companies, construction companies, poultry farms, and so much more. Now, that is all we had on the Education Forum today. My name is Amuge Victoria. Until next time, bye-bye.
MTN Kabode Super as you pay mpola for this smartphone. Make calls, update your WhatsApp status, watch YouTube, and Google anything under the sun with 2 GB worth of data every month for 7 months. Simply make a small deposit of 99k and pay the balance mpola. You can pay in daily, weekly, or even monthly installments while you enjoy your new phone. So what are you doing today? Visit any MTN shop near you and get the MTN Kabode Super easy.
Welcome to English in a Minute. We use our mouths to talk. But what could this mean?
Talk out of both sides of your mouth.
Jonathan, the consultant, said my new idea, Let's Dance English, is a great idea.
Really? 'Cause she told me that teaching English only using dance is stupid. Useless. Terrible.
Well then, she was talking out of both sides of her mouth.
Talking out of both sides of your mouth means to give completely different opinions or advice for the same situation. Some people do this to be dishonest. Sometimes they just want to please everyone. The expression is mostly used in a negative way.
Praise the Lord so much.
This Sunday, we are coming on UBC with the good news of the gospel. Don't miss our program from 6:30 to 7 p.m. every Sunday on UBC, the national broadcaster, inspiring Uganda with the gospel of the good news of Jesus Christ. I'm talking about the Word of God and the potential that is in the Word of God. I'll pray for the sick, I'll show you a powerful testimony, and God is going to do us.
Do you hear it? Do you see it?
In Uganda, Tanzania.
That's the sound of business in a developing economy.
For UBC News,
Charlotte Amuge in Kampala.
Catch the weekly business roundup every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. only on UBC TV, inspiring Uganda.
I remember the lockdown, when the streets were empty and our lives disrupted, when businesses closed and our livelihoods hung in the balance. Hospitals were full. We lost loved ones, jobs, and hope. Our children couldn't study anymore. We cannot let this happen again. We should not go back. Get fully vaccinated against COVID-19 and join the millions of Ugandans who are already vaccinated.
Games season 2022-2023 is here. Don't miss lots of fun and networking. 12 sports disciplines and over 2,000 participants with over 40 corporate companies in one place. This happens every first Sunday of every month. For more information, contact info@corporategamesug.com or visit our website www.corporategamesug.com, or you can call us on 0700 339 048 or 0785 642 953. Don't miss on Sunday, 7th August of 2022 at Chambogo University. The Corporate Games, inspiring corporates through sports.